Good morning. I wonder if, like me, over the last few months your viewing habits on television have changed. I've particularly enjoyed watching National Geographic and the programme Drain the Oceans. I'm mesmerised by the technologies and the special effects involved, but what I particularly enjoy about it is that the oceans appear, as the waters recede, to reveal a landscape that otherwise we would never see. And of course, on that strange ocean floor, that unfamiliar landscape, there are dotted all over the place various wrecks from time. This image is of Titanic. And of course, the story of Titanic has captured the imagination of millions of people since she set sail from Southampton on that ill-fated passage across the Atlantic. I recall some years ago, on a vessel sitting above the wreck of the Titanic, being invited with other passengers and crew to think about the loss of all those souls all those years ago. It would be lovely to think, and I'm sure many people did, that Titanic, as it were, glided down to the ocean floor, and there she would rest, intact, serene, curiously beautiful. But of course, diving adventures have revealed something quite different. They've revealed a hulk broken in 3 parts. The bow area separated from the bridge section and the stern lying quite some distance off. James Cameron's film, which many of us will have watched, reveals Titanic sinking, and you actually see that stern section beginning to fall off from the ship even before she is fully gone under the waves. We're reminded then, as we look at that wreck on the ocean floor, of the true horror of that night when a beautiful vessel collided with an iceberg. Drain the Oceans reminds me also of an ancient story taken from the Hebrew narrative, where the oceans part, or at least the seas of the Red Sea part, and Moses is able to lead his people through at speed, chased by Pharaoh and his folks bringing up the rear. It's a story that runs well if you're an Israelite, but if you're an Egyptian, it probably doesn't bear the telling too many times, because of course the Israelites make it through. It's as if they're running on dry land, almost on concrete, as it were. But by the time the Egyptians are catching up, the ground beneath their feet is more like mud, like a bog. It drags them down, and as the waters close in, they're drowned. Here's a tongue-in-cheek image, what it might look in today's world. I like this image though because it reminds us that there are still people in our world on the run, seeking to escape from others giving chase. If I want to push the image, it reminds us that there are people making it through while others behind are about to be drowned in whatever. Ours is not a fair world. It's not always clear who's going to win the race. I want to make a bit of a leap here, and I want to refer back to the Headmasters' Assembly last week. I was so taken, as I know many of you were, with these thoughts about what it means to live in the moment. It could be that moment when the waves recede and you think, we're going to make it. It could be that moment where the waves cascade in and you think, no, we're not. The Headmaster linked the idea of living in the moment, as I understand it, to the pursuit of happiness. And how so often a measure of that can be our sense in the moment of progress. And that really struck a chord. I thought, that is very real, that rings true. I want to ask this question, however. How easy is it for us all the time to be living in the moment? Because if I'm honest with myself, I have found some moments in recent weeks and months quite difficult. I've not really wanted to be in the moment. And some of you and I have had that kind of a conversation recently. How do we manage these strange times when COVID reveals a landscape that, the truth be told, we're not very happy with, we're unfamiliar with, and perhaps at times we actually even feel a bit threatened by? Well, you know what, guess what? I have no answers. I have no miracle up my sleeve. Although, more recently, hearing about the vaccine, I've thought to myself, you know what? maybe there is light beginning to appear at the end of the tunnel. Maybe it is appropriate for us to start to feel a little bit more confident about what tomorrow may bring. I've actually begun to dare to think that the waters, far from receding to reveal a world that is damaged beyond repair, will actually recede permanently to reveal a world that is still one we recognise, a world full of beauty, a world full of promise, and a world full of hope. And I want to say, without sounding too glib, I sincerely hope, that that world is our world, and it will be a good one once again. I want to leave you today with the words of David Bowie, and make of them, gentlemen and friends, what you will.